Hi Taurus, welcome to your reading for May and happy birthday season. Please tune in with me while I shuffle. Set aside any tasks that you may have on the go. Please don't multitask while you're listening to this reading. I want to make sure that you make the most out of your time here and you don't miss anything. Please check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to tune in and to connect with me so that I can pass along any messages that are relevant and important for you at this time. We're going to have a look at the general energies available to anyone who's under the influence of the Taurus energy, including Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or any other placements that you have that you want to check on. So, let's get started. Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Two sevens in your reading, two queens. You're showing up a lot here in your own reading for this month, Taurus. You have the Hierophant as well as the Queen of Pentacles, both Taurian cards. There's a strong energy in this reading. So we have three queens now with this other queen at the bottom of the deck, and they're all upright. So what I'm feeling overall in the energy of this spread is that this is a time where it's really about you stepping up into your own personal authority, about really fully activating and realizing what you know is your life path. And for many of you, you may have already certainly been in this direction for some time here, but with the Seven of Wands here at the heart of the reading in reverse, crossed by the Judgment card and crowned by the Seven of Cups, these three cards here are kind of telling me that there's been a little bit of holding back. Perhaps there's been maybe also some resistance to fully stepping into your responsibilities. Some hesitancy, not for any kind of self-doubt. I feel. I think whoever's watching this reading, you understand what your gifts and talents are. You understand what you're here to do. But there could be some emotional reservation about your pursuit of your actual highest path, and that feels to me a little bit like, there's an element in this reading of sort of you already feeling content with who you are and where you're at in your life, and there's almost like an energy of you kind of questioning if you even need to bother to put more effort in, because you're already actually doing pretty well in your emotional state. Like there's an energy here of accomplishment, attainment, achievement, success, and reward already. Like Six of Cups. Well, you have three sixes in your reading. Six of Cups, Six of Wands, and Six of Pentacles here, all kind of talking about satisfaction, achievement, attainment, financial reward, approval, harmony. Like there's a general sense already in this reading that there's a kind of contentedness and happiness that you are already experiencing, that you have experienced, that you're quite familiar with. Like perhaps in the moments of your life up to this point, you have worked really hard to kind of cultivate your personality, cultivate your skills, develop a business, work on your personal growth, put a lot of energy into the self-development. And I feel that there's already this energy in the reading of you having attained quite a lot. And with that comes this level of satisfaction and comfort. And this could be a moment here where some of the resistance that I'm feeling, this Seven of Wands reversed with Judgment as the crossing card, comes from, a feeling that you've already been through a lot, you've worked really hard, you've attained, and you feel comfortable and you feel quite contented and you feel like a level of satisfaction in your day-to-day experience that leaves you feeling like, what's in it for me, kind of. Sounds a little bit selfish to say that, but there is sort of an energy here of like, well, I've come this far, I've put in the work, I've done all this, I've made all this effort to arrive at this point where I do feel good. So, and it has been a really hard slog. It has been a long, steep climb to arrive to this point. And it feels like you want to sort of just enjoy that for a while and not have to keep climbing or continue in any kind of arduous effort towards something more than where you are right now. And that's fine. Like, I really relate to that energy. I'm Taurus, so actually this reading is totally for me. I'm relating to all of this. But there is energy here in this reading that's saying, you know, because you have the Hierophant here in the outcome position, and it's in reverse with the Wheel of Fortune, which is upright, as well as this Six of Wands here, the Justice card here, Six of Cups. I mean, the whole spread is basically leading around to the conclusion here, which is in this outcome position, is that there is actually a lot more that you can achieve. There is a higher attainment that you can reach for, and qualify is the word that came to mind there. I wouldn't use a word like that in that context, but that's something that just came through there. Like, you qualify for this level of attainment. You are primed and ready to actually step into this level of authority and into this level of command. There's a commanding energy, like Six of Wands with the Hierophant. And maybe for some of you, there's a little bit of reluctancy with that because you may not necessarily feel like that's something you want to pursue, because for you, you might feel within that there's an energy of ego or a lack of humility with stepping into that kind of level of authority that, you know, the Hierophant upright brings. But I need to tell you that it's not about that. This is actually kind of a responsibility, and there's something that needs to be fulfilled here karmically, right? Justice, Wheel of Fortune, and Hierophant reversed here. These are kind of saying, along with the Judgment card, I would say as well, like, these are the four major arcana cards in this spread, and all four of them kind of feel like they're pointing to the same thing, and that is that you have a responsibility. Of course, there's always free will. Like, you can choose not to, but in choosing not to, there's also a consequence, and the consequence of choosing not to would be having a life of mediocrity or having a life of lackluster. Maybe you've achieved a certain level of contentment and satisfaction now, but if you rest on your laurels and just stay there, you can't build upon that energy. In fact, it will eventually diminish, because your energy will become stagnant and it kind of starts to turn on in itself and in entropies. So these four major arcana cards here, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Judgment, and Hierophant, lead me to the conclusion that there is you're getting a push here to kind of continue to move forward and challenge yourself a little bit more to seek out ways that you can express your energy a little bit more than what you are now, and be willing to put yourself public, make yourself a little bit more public. That's also part of the Hierophant and the Six of Wands here. I feel to say, don't rest on your laurels. Yes, you may have succeeded, you may have attained, you may have achieved a lot already. And sure, you may want to enjoy that right now. But there is a moment coming, if not right now, whoever's watching this reading, depending on the timeline that you're on in your own particular space, where you'll need to understand that the gifts that you have really are not just only for you, they need to be shared. And if you are too reluctant or too hesitant to be willing to be in that position where you are that kind of that energy that is commanding that kind of space, then you will eventually, you know, develop. I don't like to make this kind of, like, it's not prediction, but there's a potential energy here. If you don't channel that energy forward, that you will experience disappointment, loss, sadness. As I said, the energy will entropy if you don't continue to progress it forward. I haven't really touched on these two quadrants of the reading. Let's look at it now. So in the quadrant of you and how you see yourself now, there's Two of Wands with Justice. And in your environment, Six of Cups with Ten of Swords, all upright cards. What this says to me is that you are in this point now where you realize there is still a lot ahead of you. You have achieved a lot. You have attained a lot. You are already the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords embodied. You've achieved that. But there is this awareness right now that there is a choice here to push further or to continue the journey, to intend to exponentiate the potential that you've already gathered. And there is this kind of weighing up of the options with the Justice card here. But as I said here, Justice as well as Judgment and Wheel of Fortune in this reading are giving me a lot of energy around the karma that's surrounding this particular issue and around your energy. And again, as I said, free will is always at play here. But there are consequences in either direction. So if you choose to rest where you are and be satisfied that that's what you've attained and that's where you're going to land, that's where you're going to lie, that's where you're going to rest and enjoy from here on out, That's fine, but there is still more energy to be cultivated and crafted. That's the point. You're not actually at the end of your journey, not at all. You definitely have worked hard to achieve a certain level. There's a degree of accomplishment and success, but there is actually more capable. You're capable of more, and there's potential in you that is yet to be unlocked. That to actually begin to access that potential, there's a need to choose to do so. That's the Two of Wands. Choose to unlock more of your karma, more of your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card. Choose more. Choose more. And part of what I feel some of the reluctancy is that you suspect that that will be really difficult work. And yeah, probably. It's not, nothing worthwhile is really easy. But you are quite a seasoned player at this point, and so you understand what's going to be required of you, and so there's nothing to be really intimidated by because you understand the lay of the land, and there's no reason to hold back. So this, just a final note on that topic, is the Six of Cups with the Ten of Swords. So what this is saying to me is that whatever sentimentality you have around your past experiences, that's what you need to say goodbye to, because there's sort of like this longing for how things were, or longing for things to stay the way they are with this energy, and that if you rest there, you will limit yourself. You will again create consequences as a result of your inability to aspire for more, and your inability to choose with free will to continue moving forward, to seek to unlock more of the potential that's within you. I hope that's clear, Taurus. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Right, Queen of Wands. So now we have 3 Queens upright, 2 of Swords, another 2, Page of Cups reverse, and Page of Swords upright. So this says to me that basically it's a summary of what I already described. You are in your element at the moment. Like with all these queens upright in this spread, this is telling me that you're confident, you've achieved, you feel good about what you've done, you have learned a lot, you've been through struggle, you have persevered, you have endured, you have risen up in the face of challenges to overcome difficulty and really embody the destiny that you came into this life with. But there's also with this Two of Swords here, I feel like you're aware of everything I'm describing here, and maybe you realize that it's time here to be real about what's actually available to you, and make the choice to be more willing to strive forward, to continue climbing that mountain, and begin to realize that the gifts and talents that you have are you're actually only just experiencing a tiny speck of what you actually have. You're definitely aware of the things that are within you that are specific to you, your particular talents, gifts. You've become quite familiar with your own frequency simply through the effort that you've put into your own personal development, and that's a beautiful thing. But there's so much more here to be uncovered. This Hierophant, the Hierophant is you for sure. Like there is an energy here, and because it's in reverse, it feels to me like there is some, like as I said, reluctancy, hesitation, reservation, holding back. But with the Wheel of Fortune here in the upright, it's saying that like there is a need for you to understand that this energy of the Hierophant is ready and able to be expanded and grown, and your kind of holding back here is preventing that expansion from occurring. And it's not only you that's going to miss out, it's others as well. Now the last 2 cards in the reading are these 2 pages, Page of Cups reverse, Page of Swords upright. Again, this is speaking to me about a little bit of immaturity in terms of your maybe inability to rise up to the responsibility. But there's also here communication. The pages are about communication. The pages are also the energy of children. But how I'm feeling it in the context of all the rest of this spread is that you may need to just shift gears ever so slightly in your energy to open into a more receptive space to what I'm delivering here, because I feel like there is an awareness already in you of what I'm saying, but there's just a slight resistance that you need to acknowledge in order to be able to move through it. And I do feel like for a lot of us, we are aware of this energy, and it is what we want actually to move forward into. But there is also like, you know, global thought forms and energetic patterns that we also are being influenced and affected by, and that's some of what there is to work through here as well, is to peel apart and discover, understand what's actually what are your motivations and thoughts, and where is your drive coming from, and what kind of influences are coming from external sources that you may not realize are actually external. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you might be feeling like really unmotivated and lacking inspiration at the moment, but that might not actually be your true state. You might be being too open to a collective energy that the global thought forms are impressing into the grid, that you're tuning into, that you aren't aware that it's not a thought form or an energy that is coming from the inside out. It's coming from the outside in. So just seek to address that and really identify where these thoughts and feelings are coming from, and own what's yours, discard the rest, and look to how you can overcome any resistance that might be there to drive this energy forward in a sustainable way. You know, like there's no rush here. There's no urgency in this reading. It's just about your own wellness, your own capabilities, and it isn't like an energy that could be really enhanced if you just give it, rise up to meet it. All right, that was a really beautiful reading, Taurus. I enjoyed that. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now. I can shuffle again. We're going to do the Higher Octave spread for more insight. Oh. Some cards fell into my lap. We have Nine of Wands, Chariot, Eight of Wands, and Magician reversed. This is saying to me that you, again, Eight of Wands in this deck is called harmony. Like you're feeling kind of harmony, mostly in pretty good sense of harmony here, especially with these 3 sixes upright in this reading. Magician reverse here is saying that basically these 4 cards are a confirmation of what I just described in this whole reading. Like you may be feeling a little bit comfortable with what you've done so far, and maybe wanting to just rest a little while and stay where you are, and not necessarily have to keep working so hard all the time, because it has been really hard. It's been hard. We're all experiencing the same kind of levels of pressures and tests and trials and challenges that we need to rise up and face. And we've done a good job here of actually addressing a lot of things that have been coming at us since birth, basically. And now you're feeling this level of accomplishment that you want to just kind of enjoy that for a while. But there is this energy here saying, like, you know that there's more ahead, and you know that you will go, actually. The Chariot upright, that you know your direction. You're a spiritual warrior, and there's never been a doubt about that. And I think for most of the Taurians watching this reading, you also have that hardworking nature. You're not going to lay on the couch for too long, you know. You might be doing that now, and that's okay to rest and enjoy. Just be careful. If you reach the point where you know you're really indulging too much, then get up and do something about it. One day at a time, you know. One moment at a time, even. Don't set yourself up for a loss and try to set up huge goals and plan and schedule massive things. No. Just start with getting up and doing yoga in the morning and meditating. See where that takes you. Alright, let's have a look here at the Higher Octave spread. So the Higher Octave is designed to give a little bit more insight into some forces at play that we may not be aware of, showing us some blind spots, and hopefully revealing a little bit more that will help us understand the forces that are at play and how to best work with the energies to make the most out of the opportunities that we are being presented with. A lot of major arcana already in the spread. Yep. The universe. Yeah, this is a big time. This is a big time for the Taurian soul group. So what we have here is the Moon crossed by the Sage of Pentacles, Lovers reversed, 3 of Wands, Ace of Wands, Magician, Hanged Man, Strength, 7 of Cups, 6 of Cups, both reversed. The Universe, which is the World card in this deck, paired with the Woman of Crystals, both in reverse. Death in reverse with the 8 of Crystals upright. So yeah, there's more here than what was in the general reading. We're going to go into this further in the Higher Octave spread. If you're interested in hearing the interpretation of these cards, click the link in the description box below, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.